Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You're here with me, Sinead, aka Siin Ciity. So in today's video we are going to be achieving this look. It very much is a blue theme all around. I've got blue nails going on, blue eyes, and the weather is making me feel blue. Some nice days in London recently, with it being kind of warm and the sun being out and everyone feeling that like London sunshine. And then in between the weeks we've had some grey, dark clouds. It's been cold, it's been windy, it's been everything but looking like spring summer. So I was feeling kind of blue, and then I thought, you know what, let's go with the colour being blue in regards to this look today. This look is something that I tried out. It's very experimental in terms of filming. It's kind of just basically putting the colours together that I felt like would work for the look. But this one I feel like is a little bit more daytime friendly. The light blue in the crease, and then it's got the darker blue and then a bluey black on the outside. So you can always like work with these colours and make them more day to evening. It's up to you how you want to kind of go with the look, but this is something that I really like putting together, and I really enjoy putting it together for you guys. So I hope you guys really enjoy this too, and we will hop straight into the video. Okay, so here we are. I have my whole face is being primed and prepped with my foundation base. I've also got my brows on, and I've also applied a eyeshadow base so that when I'm applying the colour I get full pigment. I probably would recommend not doing your whole face first in terms of putting down your foundation base, because this look in doing so was actually quite a messy kind of look, but I tried to keep it as neat as possible. And you also don't know if you're going to get any fallout, so with these palettes I very much knew that I wouldn't, so I was good to go. But it is very much something you should keep in mind when planning out your looks. So the first colour that I went in with that I was applying to my crease was xoxo from the Perceptions palette by SHAYLAXCOLOURPOP. I love using this colour in the crease for transition shades, just because it very much is just an easy kind of bone colour to go on. So I was being sure to get it as high as possible towards my brow in terms of the inner corner, and then obviously following out my eyelid. I then dipped into this sleek Ultra Matte Bold Brights palette that I have. I'm not too sure of the name of this shade, but it's essentially the lightest blue that they have in the palette. I went in with the Zoeva Soft Definer brush to essentially carve out the shape of my eyelid going across my crease. I was sure to basically not use a heavy hand and be quite light-handed with it, and also not pick up a lot of pigment, just because if you pick up too much and you go too heavy, it's really hard to basically undo that, so it's better just to build up slowly. I then went back in with the original brush that I was using, which was the soft crease brush that we used to apply xoxo, and went in and just blended out that line that we had created just to soften it up. This whole look is very much a blended look, so your blend game needs to be on point, which is something that I realised in completing and going through the process. It very much is to take your time, don't rush it, apply a little product and apply more as you need to. And that's essentially what I did with this look. Like anywhere that I felt like I needed more product, I would go in and just add with the same brush, and I pretty much did the same thing on the other eye, so I'm just going to speed that up for you. So using the same brush that we smoked out the light blue shade with, I went back into the sleek palette and picked up the darker blue. I applied this colour just under the light blue on my crease, smoking it backwards and forwards in the circular kind of motion from the outer corner to the inner corner. I was very much trying to keep the light line above it, so we don't want to go over that, but this will just basically bring more dimension to the eyes by having the dark colour underneath. I also then went in and focused a lot of the dark blue on the outer corner in a V-like shape, because that's the kind of look that we wanted to go for. I wanted to kind of very much have my eye sharp kind of at the end on the corners, so by doing the V shape in the top and the bottom, so just kind of going along the crease and then going along the lash line, that will very much bring your eyes out like that. So I then went back into the Perception palette and reached for Stallion. Stallion's a beautiful colour. It's a very much a bluey blacky colour, so it's got reflexes of metallic blue in there, which is really nice and always helps pop. So I applied that on the outer corner. I was really light-handed with it, as you can see, and I very much tried to keep it in that V shape. So I switched between brushes. I applied it with the definer brush and then blended it out with the crease brush. And that was pretty much what I did. I very much wanted to focus it on the outer corner of my eye and then just drag through what was left through to the inner corner of my eye. But again, it's very much about the blend game, as you can see. So you need to be very much just taking your time and blending it out until it just looks seamless. So I then went in to the colour 14 from the same palette, the Perception palette, and used a flat concealer type brush for this, just to kind of make sure I would maximise pigment. I don't know why, but every time I'm always surprised and shook AF with how much pigment this whole palette has. Like, it surprises me every time and I use it all the time, so there should be no surprises, to be honest. But love this shade. It went on like a dream. I was kind of thinking that I might have to have done a whole cut crease, but I didn't need to at all with it. It went on really seamlessly, and I pretty much just carved out my eyelid, packing it on in like kind of like motions, just to obviously get maximum pigment on my eyelid, and then obviously using the tips just to kind of carve out my actual eyelid itself. I don't want you to judge me because I pretty much use the same brushes, but I'm all about not having to use so many brushes. But went in and picked up the light blue and the dark blue from the Sleek Matte, Ultra Matte, palette, and just basically highlighted the top again, just because I felt like when I was initially applying the colour I was being quite light-handed with it, and when I applied the colour 14 from the Perception palette I realised that I needed to go a little bit heavy with it because that colour just needed a little bit more around the outside. And then I went back in again with Stallion and applied that with the definer brush on the outer corner, just to kind of very much just bring the look more together. So guys, this is why I kept saying take your time and apply a little product and add more as you go, because I went super ham in the outer corner using Stallion and I just was struggling. So I literally had to go back into the Sleek palette and pick up the light and the dark blue and just blend it out, because one side was looking like immaculate and the other side was just looking like hella grey. So it is very much take your time, like take your time. I had a break, guys. I had a break. This was a little bit complicated. I had a break. I'm kind of liking it though. Okay, so we're all done with the eyes for now. So I'm just going into my Fenty Pro Filter Concealer, shade 370, highlighting underneath my eyes, Cupid's bow, chin, jawline, bridge of my nose, and then obviously finishing off with a cute little tree on my forehead. And then I made sure to blend that all out. When it came to blending out underneath my eyes, I was really careful because I have my hands or my nails so close to the brush end. I thought I started seeing blue going everywhere and smudging on my face, but it wasn't. I think it's just my nails reflecting onto the brush and I could see it. But I very much, like we said in the beginning, wanted the eyes to very much have a sharp kind of point and corner. So when blending out the outer corner, just making sure it goes right underneath that eyeshadow in the corner. And obviously it's a sharp line that it creates and builds. On the other side I basically didn't really complete that, so I added more concealer just to kind of get that look to finish off in the way that we wanted it to. So for contour I went into the NYX Conceal Correct and Contour palette in Deep. I went in with again kind of flat concealer brush, but it's like a bigger version, so it's more for contouring, so it can really get into the hollows of your cheeks, and applied that on my forehead and perimeters of my face and then along my cheekbones. I then went in with my MAC contour brush, which is more fluffier, and blended that all out. after blending that all out with whatever product I have left on the brush, I then always go over the sides of my nose just to kind of help contour it, and then sweep it into my eyelids and brows. I then went into my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder with a kind of big fluffy brush. I don't know the name of this brush either, I'm sorry. It is a bamboo brush, I believe. And it's actually a blush brush, but I don't use it for blush, I use it to apply my translucent setting powder. And then just basically where we had highlighted, just went over to obviously set that. So whenever you use a cream or liquid for your contour base, you always need to make sure that you set that. So using the same brush that we used to blend it out, the cream, we then went into a Revolution palette, I believe it is, which is their contour powders palette, and just went over the contour lines, making sure that we had set that. I then basically never like to leave my translucent powder on my chin and jawline sitting for too long, just because you don't want that line and that mark. So I went in and blended that out, and then after blending that out, went and blended out underneath my eyes and the rest of my face, using my Real Techniques brush that I have. So now we're all done with our powders on our face, it's very much time to set and spray that face. So I went into my Urban Decay All Nighter little travel size spray pot. Yes, I drenched my face hardcore because yes, I like my makeup to stay put. So that is what's needed. So now that my face is completely dry and set, I then went in with the Zoeva pencil brush and just basically picked up the light blue and the dark blue that we used from the Sleek palette and blended that out on the lower lash line. Annoyingly, the camera actually died, so you didn't get to see the little bit that I did, which was just basically apply black eyeliner pencil to my lower lash line, or my lower waterline, shall I say, and then just did that from the middle to the outer corner. I didn't really apply a lot. I then went into the e.l.f. palette that I have, which is an e.l.f. blush palette, dark, and picked the darkest kind of pinky reddish kind of shade, like a very much a blushy colour, on my Real Techniques blush brush, and then blended it out with my Real Techniques fluffy brush, just because I don't like to have the colour just be a vibrant colour, I like it to be blended. I then picked up on the same pencil brush Hustler Baby from the Me, Money and Hustler Baby highlighting kilowatt from Fenty Beauty, and applied that to my inner corners on my eyes. So when applying the highlighter to my inner corners, I then decided that I wanted to bring it up a little bit higher than I normally would, so that it would have a transition of it being that frosty blue into that sapphire blue into that smoky blacky blue, and then obviously the crease being the light blue, as that was kind of the look that I wanted to go for. I then used the colour Mean Money from the highlighter Kilowatt, and applied that to the high points of my cheek, my cupid's bow, the bottom of my nose to button it, and then obviously down the bridge, being sure to leave a gap in between the button and the bridge. So when it came to my lip colour, I wasn't too sure on what colour to go with, and I didn't want anything to take away from the colour and the statement of my eye, so I just decided and settled on a nice nude lip. I went in with the Cork Mac lip liner pencil and essentially just drew around my lips following my shape, and then finished it off with the Fenty Gloss Bomb, just to make my lips look luscious and juicy. So for lashes, I went in and used the Ardell Wispies. I love these lashes, they literally are live. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, then I suggest buying a pair and trying them out for size, because you'll love them. They'll probably become like your go-to lashes. Also, if any of you are wanting a video on like a lash 101 on how to put your lashes on, the best tips and tricks to use, then please drop me a message in the comments below and I can look into that for you. I'm not a pro, but over the years I've learned a thing or two and I wouldn't mind passing it on, so just let me know. There was a little bit of a moment, because I always have this, where my eye waters like a bitch on the right side, so I basically just had to go in again with the pencil brush whilst applying the lash and just blend the water that was running down my eye a little bit, so it wouldn't fall down onto the rest of my face, and then just completed off the rest of my eyelashes. So yeah, like little things like that, they happen and it's okay. It's just knowing how to deal with it. Then to finish off the eyes, I then just went in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my lower lashes, just making sure that they look just as full as the top did, and that pretty much was the look done. Like, we are done, we are finished, I'm loving it, I'm feeling it, and just carry on watching for me to be extra AF at the end. Be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little subscribe button down here. I'm so thankful for all the subscriptions that I have so far, and I love doing these videos for you, and I'm very much going to try and get on top of being better at pre-planning my videos, so that I've always got content coming out consistently for you guys. So if you're not subscribed, please do click subscribe, and if you are subscribed, thank you again. And obviously if you like this video, then be sure to give it thumbs up, because that will let me know that you like these kind of videos, and I can keep putting them out there for you guys. And yeah.